Hi guys and dolls, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. So I wanted to talk to you today about what happens when you get dumped for somebody who is a narcissist or borderline personality or whatever the problem is that the person has. You get dumped for them and you're nothing like that. That's happened to me a time or two or three or four. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it and how to deal with it. As you know, it doesn't feel good. And you can't love somebody harder in order for them to appreciate you more. Okay? You cannot love someone harder in order for them to appreciate you more. Okay? And I really want that to sink in with you, because that's really crucial. That's a mistake I've made in the past. I'm not doing that anymore. I had someone recently basically dump me for her ex so she can have a fling with her ex, and he's a horrible person. And this person had talked a really good game about, I'm not going to deal with people like that no more. I'm going to draw boundaries with my family. I'm not dealing with him. He did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. And I'm done with it. And I don't want it to be, I don't want it to take a toll on my health and yada, 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 and on and on. And that was just talk. I told this person how to avoid dealing with the severe drama with the family and how to avoid it, because there was a funeral. And people who are twisted, narcissistic or otherwise, they are opportunists. So they're always looking for a reason to get in your good graces again so that they can use you, manipulate you, trick you all over again. It's what they do. Hoovering, hooverings when they suck you back in. I really love you. I miss you. I don't know why I acted like that. I'm so sorry. Right. And it's a lie. It's all a lie. When someone shows you who they are, and I've said this many times, right? When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. That is who they are. You are not going to change them. I don't care how much you say I love you, how many gifts you buy them, how you're always in their corner, and you've proven it time and time again. They are still going to be a snake. That is who they are. You're never going to change them. No one's ever going to change them. They could go into therapy and it's not going to change them. If they want to change, they can learn tools to not act like that to an extent, but inherently that's who they are. Okay, that's who they are. They have done that ever since they were knee-high to a grasshopper, chances are, as a result of either an abusive background or with their parents, or neglect, because neglect is a form of abuse. Overindulgence is a form of abuse. People don't see that. They don't correlate the two. When you're given everything is done for you and everything is given to you, you get to the point where you expect that and you want the whole world to treat you the way your parents taught you. Hey, the world owes you. You're not doing your kid a favor when you teach them that by overindulging and overindulging and overindulging. There was a criminal case, and I can't remember the names of the people involved, but she did that with her son. A lot of mothers make this mistake. I've seen it time and time again, where their child was very sick growing up, and doctor's visits and hospital visits and on, and the child just had a tremendous amount of medical mountains to climb. And as a result, the parent or the mother, usually the mother, will overcompensate and let that child do and have any and everything they want. She will coddle that child and overindulge, 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 overindulge. You're not doing your kid any favors when you do that. You're not doing your kid any favors. You're teaching them to be a narcissist or worse. The criminal case that I'm referring to, like I said, I can't remember the names, but she did that because he was sick. Her son was sick. And as a result, he didn't have to follow rules. No rules, no regulations. And she would lie for him, cover up for him. She bought him a truck, and he got angry because he didn't get his way with whatever it was. He slammed it and broke it in a million pieces. She returned it back to the store and said that when they opened the box, the truck was destroyed. So she's lying for him, and she's manipulating other people to, you know, to cater to him. You think he doesn't notice that? Anyway, so he grew up with a sense of entitlement. He realized that he can control his mother. She was intimidated by him, and he just became a severely mentally ill individual. And he ended up taking the life of the girl that he was involved with, that he had a child with. He ended up taking her life because she was wanting to leave him, because she was tired of the control and the domination. You come home after work and you are not going to be late, and you will do this and you will do that. And, you know, people aren't going to take that crap off of you. So she was going to leave him, and he decided she was going to die. And he threatened to kill his mother multiple times prior to that. And she still let him rule the house. You know, just because somebody was sick, your child was sick, your baby was sick, that does not mean that they have to escape rules, because you could be creating a monster without realizing it. Them being sick and recovering from it, even if it was a struggle, that does not equate with, nor does it have anything to do with cater to the rest of your life. No rules for you. You're not doing them any favors. And if they do turn into a narcissist or a criminal or a violent person, what do you think happened there? You taught them that you are above the rules. Everyone else in the world has to follow them, but you, on the other hand, do not. And that's a dangerous thing. So anyway, I wasn't even planning to say all that. Yeah, but overindulgence can cause narcissism as well as other forms of mental illness. So anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Back to what I was trying to say before. You cannot have a logical conversation with this person and get them to realize that you are a good person. If they don't know that already, there's nothing you could do to get through to them if they don't know that. If they dump you for someone who's toxic, let them go on their merry way. Does it hurt? Yes. Will you cry? Maybe. Will you be angry? Possibly, possibly, but let them go. Let them go. Because people are in your life for a reason and a season. And once those reasons and seasons are gone, that person is gone. Also, you have the sick mentality of, some people grew up with Jerry Springer their whole life. They don't know any different. So even though they may talk a great game, I'm tired of this and I don't want to live my life this way anymore, and on and on and on and on. That could be just talk. Because the minute a toxic person comes back into their life in a moment of weakness or a moment of loneliness, they're back to square one with chasing after this person. And they're going to get had again by this person, because that's what this person does. That's how they operate. That's never going to change. No matter how sweet they are, no matter they bought you this thing that you always wanted and blah, 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 whatever. This person that dumped me not long ago as a so-called friend, she chose her ex. I don't know why I have so many flyaways, but it's driving me crazy. You know what I'm getting at? She chose her ex over me, and he has zero respect for her. Zero. She also went to a funeral, and I specifically gave her instructions of how you can go to the funeral, pay your respects, and get out of there without falling into the Jerry Springer trap. Did she listen to me? No, she did the total opposite of what I said to do. And what I said to do was go there after everything has already started, sit in the back, and get out of there just before it's over. This way you've already paid your respects, but you don't have to get sucked into the vortex of Jerry Springer, this person saying this person being nasty to you, this person being fake with you and acting like we're besties and I love you and oh my God. And it's all a lie. You can avoid all of that by just doing what I tell you to do. Do it exactly this way and you'll avoid all of that. Did she do that? No, she did the exact opposite. Some people are so accustomed to darkness that they really don't want anything different. And actions speak louder than words. So it really doesn't matter what that person said and how convincing they sounded. That is totally besides the point. Actions speak louder than words. So people can sound over intellectual with their, their intentions. And I really mean it this time. I've had it and life is too short for this and on and on and on. But when the opportunity presents itself, they get sucked into the hole again. And some of these people, I do believe that they don't feel like they deserve anything better, which is one of the reasons why they keep running back to catering to and almost worshiping people who are toxic, because they know how to deal with them, or they think they know how to deal with them. And somewhere deep inside, it's a self-esteem issue. Because once you realize that you're not a piece of junk, you're not going to settle for junk. You know what I'm saying? It's all about self-love and self-respect. And once you develop that, which you can learn through YouTube, through professionals on YouTube, through support groups in real life, there's ways that you can learn how to love yourself. And once you do that, which is a complicated process for some people, especially if you grew up abused like I was. But once you learn self-love and self-respect, you realize that you don't have to take no crap off on nobody. And the minute somebody talks to you crazy, you're like, wait a second, hold it. Watch your tone when you're talking to me. I don't use that tone with you. Don't use it with me. Got it? I said, don't use that tone with me. If you're on the phone, they keep doing it, hang up. Cut them off. Never be friends with them again. Don't be afraid to cut off family. What? That's right. Don't be afraid to cut off family, because family can treat you worse than anybody there is. You know why? And they can impact you like nobody else, because they know what your weaknesses are. They know how to go straight to the bullseye. And you will lose your temper in less than 3 seconds, because they know exactly how to do it. If this person, if there's any way to cut them off, I would cut them off. I've done it. I had to cut off my brother, not because I don't love him, but because his mother, our so-called mother, is a monstrous person, and she is in charge of him. You know, he has issues and she takes care of him. And she also, like a lot of abusers, she keeps him away from the family. He has no friends. He has no girlfriend. He has nobody. Controllers love to do that. I want you all to myself. But anyway, so when you get dumped by this person, it's imperative that you realize that you're not going to change them. You're not going to make them love you. There's no point in you bending over backwards and I'm going to love this person harder and I'm going to be there for them more, and I'm going to just prove through my actions that I'm worthy and that other person has no respect for you. You can't get through to somebody like that. So you get your scissors and you cut them off. Is it hard? Yes. Do you need to do it for your own sanity? Yes. Yes. Okay? Because the stress will kill you. The stress will kill you. And if you think I'm kidding, talk to a doctor who knows what he or she is doing, and they will tell you the stress will take its toll through the years, through the months, whatever. It will take its toll. So I've been there, done that, so I know what I'm talking about. I've been in the hospital, like I said in other videos, 2 surgeries in a span of, 5 years or whatever the time frame was. I ain't never had that many surgeries in my entire life, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm only here because it's not my time to go yet, apparently. And if I do make it to heaven, which I hope I do, I hope there's devil dogs up there, because I love devil dogs. They are, for those of you going, huh? They are very good. They're a chocolate cake with, okay, so chocolate cake and then cream in the middle and another chocolate cake, and they're put together like a sandwich. Woo! It's an East Coast thing. Don't try to figure it out, okay? But anyway, so when this person does this to you, and you're going to be angry, And your natural instinct is to go, now wait a second, hold up. This person did this to you, that to you. I would have never did that to you, and you choose them. Yes, you're going to go through every last bit of that. But it's okay, because the anger is going to help you get through it. The anger is going to propel you towards healing, and it's going to take time. And if you cut this person off forever, you're going to feel relief, and you're going to feel anger and depression and sadness. You're going to feel a little bit of everything, but give yourself time to process all of those emotions. Write a diary, whether you're a girl or a guy, it doesn't matter. Write a diary. You don't have to tell your guy friends, yo man, I'm writing a diary, because dudes would be like, what? What's wrong with you? Some things can be private, you know what I'm saying? So write a diary. Because one thing that or a journal, one thing that a journal does is it gets the thoughts from swirling around in your head. It gets the thoughts out of your head and gives them an outlet. That's why therapists tell you that. It gives those thoughts an outlet, so they're not just swirling around in your head again and again and around and around and around, because that alone will make you crazy. So express those in a journal. My longest phase after dealing with someone who, I have a video called When Your Quotation Marks Friend Hates You. The deception is indescribable. Okay. The longest phase for me for healing was anger. I wanted to knock the whole hell out of her, and I'm just keeping it real. I'm just going to keep it real today. How dare you lie like that? How dare you? So I got to the point, you know, you're angry and you're crying and you're angry and you're crying and you want to punch this person's face in. I mean, really, seriously. All of those emotions are perfectly normal, and allow yourself time to process all of those. And when you start to stand up for yourself, maybe for the first time in your life, you are going to feel amazed at how you're going to feel awesome. Eventually, maybe not now, but eventually you're going to feel awesome, because that feels good, especially for people who are yes people. Give, and do for everybody. Just do. You're going to get to the point where you draw boundaries. And when it's going to feel weird, because you're not used to that, right? You're yes, whatever. I'll get out of my bed, take my pajamas off, put my regular clothes on, go out in the blizzard to pick you up from wherever, because you got yourself in trouble, and I'll go rescue you. You know what I mean? Boundaries. I mean, I'm not saying don't do that if the person is someone who you respect and they respect you too, obviously. Then you go above and beyond for them. But if this person has no respect for you, you're out of here. And when you draw up boundaries, you are going to feel so good. You're going to feel so good, because you're going to put your foot down. And it's going to feel weird. For yes people, that's going to feel weird. But you have to do that with people who are toxic, because otherwise they will be like a running with the bulls in Spain. They have that all the time, right? I guess once a year, running with the bulls. You'll get stampeded. You're going to be smashed into the ground. They're going to bounce off and do it to somebody else. Destroy them, do it to somebody else. And the cycle continues. It'll never stop. But if it stops with you with those boundaries, you'll feel good. You'll be like, you know what? I should have did that a long time ago with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself time to heal. It's painful when someone does that. I know one particular person, one of her, she's a fake reverend. Anyway, her daughter is really, really, really evil. I mean, drops the F-bomb, cusses her mother out all the time. And the more she treats her like crap, the more she obeys her, like bows down to her. She can do no wrong. Her feet don't touch the ground. She is treated like royalty. The worse she behaved, the more her mother worships her, which is backwards. And it shows me that she's twisted too. And if you're around sick people long enough, you become sick. There's no way around it. It's kind of like chickenpox. If you're around people with chickenpox, you're going to get it too. So you got to put some boundaries up and learn to say no. And have patience through the healing. Have patience through the sadness. Have patience with yourself, because You miss the person so much and you love them so much, but the reality is they're not capable of loving you the same way. So you're heading down the street, a one-way dead-end street. Well, maybe not a one-way, but a dead-end street, right? In a race car. That's not going to amount to anything positive. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that equates to when you're dealing with poisonous people. It's never going to stop. And the pain that they cause you, the lies, the manipulation, and the sugary sweetness. I miss you. I know I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks, but whatever. How are you? Let's do lunch. I just totally miss you. Tell me about your life. And they're full of crap. That's called hoovering, when they're sucking you back in. And for those of you who are not familiar with BPD, which is borderline personality disorder, malignant narcissism, covert narcissism, you're not familiar with dissociative disorder, dissociative identity disorder, which used to be called multiple personality. If you're not familiar with all of those, research. What I've done, and a friend of mine laughs, I've unofficially, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a clinical psychologist or anything of that nature, but I have found out what was wrong with people that I've dealt with simply by researching. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this person? And I researched my butt off, and I was like, oh my God, I'd read all the symptoms, and I'm like, the only thing missing is their picture. I finally figured out what's wrong with them. You know, like I said, I don't make official diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, but what do you do in college? You research, right? So, and people who, if you've had a traumatic past, people who are twisted love that, and they gravitate towards you because I think somewhere in their weird mind, they think, well, you used to it, right? You grew up with it. So what's the big deal? They may not ever verbalize that, but I think it's quite obvious with how they seem to have a green light to just treat you like crap and have no qualms about it. You're used to it, so get over it. No, I'm not going to get over it. You're going to get over it. You're fired. Boundaries drawn up, scissors brought out, cut, cut, cut. You're gone. So another thing I wanted to mention to you real quick, because nobody on YouTube has talked about this. Nobody on YouTube, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody on YouTube has mentioned when something goes down in front of a narcissist in particular, they have no facial expressions and they have no proper reaction unless they're mimicking other people, right? So I'm not going to go into long details, but I have an issue with the lid on my crock pot, and I'm eventually going to replace it. But in the meantime, I had some spaghetti sauce in there that was boiling. It was so hot it was boiling because it was on high for a while, right? I'm simmering all the herbs together and everything, and the flavors and everything. And my handle's broken, so I was trying to maneuver the lid off without getting the sauce on me. Well, it did the total opposite. When I took the lid off, it scooped in the opposite direction towards me, and I ended up with the spaghetti sauce all over my abdomen. There's no words for that pain. Okay, there's absolutely no words for that. At the time, I was hanging with this person who was 1000% narcissist like his father. Not in the beginning, because they never show that in the beginning. Anyway, and he just stood there like this. I'm not kidding. No facial expression, no concern. A lot of them are robots. No one on YouTube talks about that. Nobody. Not that I saw. They have no reaction to something that they're supposed to react to. So here you are getting burned, and they're just standing there like, oh, okay. It's freaking weird. I guess when they're mimicking other people's facial expressions, body language, voice inflections, they didn't do that one. They didn't learn that one. So they just stand there like a robot. Another time, I'm not going to make this video too long, but another time I had met somebody and he got out of his car and started walking towards the sidewalk, and he just kind of turned around, looked at me, and I was in the car and I was getting ready to get out of the car. Well, I looked at him and I smiled because I'm meeting this person for the first time. So you want to be positive, right? I smiled at him, and this is what he did. he turned and looked at me, and I smiled, right? And then he goes like this. Like, he turned and looked at me, and I'm smiling at him, so I want you to imagine someone smiling at me, which would be him. And he goes, and turned around and walked away. He sure did. I hope my video's not doing anything weird. Is it? Oh. I hope it's okay. Anyway, yeah, dead in the face, no facial expressions, nothing. Just... God, it's creepy. It's really creepy. Anyway, I'm not sure how this video is going to come out, so I'm going to try it and see. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. If you are subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed, why not? What are you waiting for? Join the family. Okay? Love you guys. Take care. Talk to you soon.